Alright, what's up guys? So, I have a video reaction and it's not a request. And I saw this video before and I think it's a good one. And it's from Against Life 1000. So, let's see what she has to say.
Some people are very aware that there's nothing but trauma within their bloodline. They know that generations upon generations in their family has been nothing but trauma experienced. And people will still reproduce knowing that.
Yeah, right? Like there's abuse in the family and they pass that along to their children, you know? And it never ends in the narcissism. It never ends like the abuse, basically. And they feel like if they have a kid, they'll be a better parent than their parents that they had because they were abusive. You know, but that's not always the case, basically. Like they can have a kid and they can be more abusive than their abusive parents, and their kids can go through low self-esteem and a lot of insecurities and low self-worth, pretty much, self-doubting themselves all the time, losing their confidence, and can possibly get a learning disability because you can get a learning disability from being abused that way, and it can affect your learning. So that's what happens. And another thing is, like, if there's a parent that is pregnant and she's getting abused out there, that's what's messed up about that. That's why you can't abuse pregnant women, because it's going to affect the baby potentially, and the baby can come out with a disability or something. There's been studies about that. And this generational trauma just never ends. The only way to end it is to not prolong your bloodline, you know?
Their bloodline is nothing but trauma. There is no reason why several women within different generations in a family are experiencing the same type of trauma. There's no reason why a great-grandmother, grandmother, mother, daughter.
And a lot of it's epigenetics also. Epigenetics plays a role in generational trauma as well. Like if, say, your family members receive trauma from their past, like they can pass that down to their potential children, you know? That's not always guaranteed, or say like the kids will have like these genetics that can make them struggle and aren't always able to overcome challenges and obstacles, but it's more of a possibility though, compared to people that don't have generational trauma or don't have like bad epigenetics, basically.
Should be experiencing the same kind of trauma, such as rape or molestation.
Yeah, that shit's messed up. Like, no one should go through that, rape or molestation at all. It's a messed up thing, and it can definitely affect your psyche. It can make your mental health worse. Like, it's terrible.
There is a generational curse that needs to be broken. And
I'll say it is like a curse. I don't agree with that. I guess there's people that are lucky that are born from like abusive parents and they're able to overcome it, but that's pretty rare to me though. There's a lot of them that still struggle even though they're high functioningly capable of keeping a job. Like they'll probably do self-destructive behavior and like drink or something to alleviate the trauma triggers or past bad experiences, you know? And not everyone's the same with that.
me personally, I think the best way to break a generational curse is to just end your bloodline.
Yep, I agree. That's 100% way, because if you bring a kid in the world, it's not always guaranteed that curse is gonna be gone, you know?
It's the simplest way. You don't need to go sit in therapy, okay, and have somebody woo-woo you. Okay, you don't need to go to church, clap your hands, and getting the Holy Ghost spirit out of you.
Yeah, a lot of that is hope. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having hope in life, but having hope goes so far. Like, the only way to end the curse is to end the bloodline. But I guess if you're currently living, right, you try your best to address your traumas to people that you can trust. Hopefully, they aren't untrustworthy, and maybe it'll be more relieving, and you'll be able to heal more and recover. Like, if you like get triggered by something, you can brush it off more. But a lot of times there's a lot of people that hold their traumas in and they suppress it, and they put their stress out on others, you know, and that's not good, because it's not totally their fault because they can't open up, because maybe they're afraid to. Maybe it's because their abusive parents are the type of parents that you won't be able to open up with. So you grew up that way, and it's harder to trust people, you know? Makes it hard.
Or be singing in the choir, or anoint your head 5 times a day with holy oil.
Yeah, religion doesn't really do much. So
it's the simplest way. Get sterilized and end your bloodline.
Or, like, if you can't do that, just abstain, you know? Protect yourself.
Just end it. Nobody who does not come into existence will ever be harmed. Someone who does not exist, a non-existent entity, does not have a desire to come into existence at all. The desire is within you, natalist, you parents. The desire.
Yeah, they'll say they never asked to be born. I guess they never asked to, like, they never asked to not exist either, you know? It's like neutral to me, you know? But usually it's the two parents that are in the bedroom. They don't think about what the kid can go through, and if it's able to function in a society. These parents don't think that way at all. They always think about instant gratification, posting pictures of their baby on social media, or showing it off to, like, their neighbors, or they want to just virtue signal and say, I'm a good parent, you know? That's all it really is, and they never really consider the kid have a bad life, you know? Even though I guess there is kids that have good lives, you know? They never consider that part. They don't prepare for the worst, and that's the worst part with these parents. So
for them to come into existence is within you. They don't have a desire because they don't exist. So if you have all this generational trauma within your bloodline, why not just do the easiest thing for yourself as well as your potential child, which is not bring them into existence?
I think the problem is there's a lot of people out there that think they'll have a success story. And I guess there is a few success stories, but there's a lot of them that aren't. And there's ones that are born in a generational trauma that get worse, you know, and they just suffer and go through pain all throughout their life, and it's unnecessary. That's the worst part. So, yeah, that's what's terrible about that. A lot of people will not think of it that way, you know. But good video. I really liked it. Maybe we'll do a couple more from your channel. So, catch you guys later.